Hey, so today I'm going to talk about a game again because I literally put out two videos where I didn't talk about games, and I talk about games a lot, so I mean, hell, why not? Anyway, I'm going to talk about a game called Dante's Inferno. Now, I don't remember when the hell this game came out, but it's based on Dante. What the fuck was his last name? Dante Alighieri, I think. Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy poem, the Inferno, or Inferno, not the Inferno, Inferno, which was like, I don't know, some poem he worked on for a lot and then he died. He worked on, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, somewhere between 10 to 15 years or something like that. I know he made it and then he like died or something. And it was like old, like 1300s. So the game is based on Inferno, which is a part of the poem of the Divine Comedy, or I believe I try to like research a bit on games I play. You know, sometimes when I play a game, I'm like so interested. I'm like, I want to like look up the game, and sometimes you learn things. And in this case, I already knew about the Divine Comedy uh, and the guy who made it. But the game is called Dante's Inferno. You know, Dante is the name of the guy who wrote it. In Inferno is what it's loosely based off of, which is part of the divine poem, divine joke, divine fuck. Whatever. I've already forgotten. I'm actually brain dead. I've already forgotten what it's called. The divine ass. I don't know. Anyway, Dante's Inferno was. I am struggling. Dante, Dante's Inferno was made by Visceral Games, which, if you guys don't know, they made Dead Space, so that already put them in good standing with me immediately. And the game plays a lot like the old God of War games. Like it's very similar to the old God of War games, and even apparently, like if you look through like the critic reviews, apparently even they agree that it is very similar to God of War. But the only difference is instead of fighting gods in the air, you're going to hell and trying to find Lucifer. Anyway, Dante's Inferno is about a Templar who is fighting a war for God or some shit like that. And he commits a lot of sins on this, as a lot of Templars did, because, Templars fought for God, but let's be honest, they didn't do a lot of good for God. They did not do a lot of things that would be good by, their scripture and shit. Like, like they commit a lot of sins and that kind of thing. Anyway, he had like a thing sewn to his chest in like the shape of a cross, and it's like some like Bible blanket. I don't fucking remember. I don't know what it's called. I'm like trying to think of the word. It's like that thing it's not a drape, but it's like the thing you hang on a wall in like a fancy building, and it like sways when the wind hits it. I don't know what it's called, but he had it sewn to his chest in like a cross pattern. And he sinned a lot on his quest, and he had a wife at home. And I think the beginning of the game literally had the main character's father. I don't know if the character's name was Dante. I don't think his name was Dante. I don't remember what the main character's name was at all. I just know he's the Templar. That's about it. But the main character's father tries to do some really fucking gross things to his wife who's at home. Hold on. What happens? Oh yeah, I believe she fights back, and I think the main character's father kills her. And then I don't remember what he does. I think he either kills himself or he runs away. I don't remember. But Lucifer wants this main character. I'm just gonna say Dante because I don't know if I want to say Dante because I don't want people to just be like, his name's not Dante, dumbass. It's like, I don't remember his fucking name. I just know it's called Dante's Inferno. But the main character, comes home, finds his wife dead, and Lucifer takes his wife's soul because he wants the guy's girl. I don't I don't know if they explained why. I beaten the game once and I haven't been able to beat it again because unfortunately my game keeps crashing at the same spot, so I assume it's just broken. But if I remember correctly, he's just Lucifer and he just wants his girl. I don't know. There's probably something I'm misremembering. But so this game is about the main character going through the 7 layers. I think it's 7 anyway. 7 or 9. I don't remember. I think it's 7. Or is it 9? 9 layers. I don't know. He's going through the layers of hell. Okay, I have bad memory. I remember the fucking beginning. I remember the Dante's Alighieri guy. I remember the time period. I remember who made it and what it's based off of. But I can't fucking remember anything from the game itself. But anyway, he goes to hell. He's going through the layers of hell, and he fights like lust, greed, envy. I don't know all of them, so whatever. But I do remember when I first played it and I got to lust. I was like, this was like when I was younger, so like I couldn't even like comprehend the idea of a game being like heavily sexual. So like when I played the game, I was like, oh my god, there's like penis statues and that chick has her tits out. Oh my god. Like I remember seeing that when I was younger and I was just like blown away. I was just like, oh my god. Nudity in video games? Her nipples are out. Oh my god. Also, she had tongues in her nipples, and I remember that is so fucking gross. Like I remember when I fought her and I saw the tongues in her nipples, like I was like actually like my skin was crawling. I was like, oh, that's so fucking gross. The idea of like tongues moving around, and she had spiders come out of her nipple holes as well. It was so fucking gross. I didn't expect lust to be gross, but lust was fucking disgusting in that game. And oh yeah, and you would meet like historical figures that like went to hell for like sins and shit. Like wasn't Alexander the Great like a boss fight in the end of the Lust one, I think? And did you meet like Oedipus or something? I don't fucking remember. You met like a lot of fucking weird people from history who like sinned and went to hell, and you could like free their soul and send them to heaven, or you could just straight destroy them, right? So it was like a basically like, do you want to be like the good Templar and save their souls even though they were horrible, or do you want to destroy them and cement their place in hell, right? And I don't really like religious games a lot, but I love games that explore heaven and hell, not because of religious reasons, but just solely for the reason of violence and stupidity. But yeah, and when I played it, it was very God of War like. It was insanely God of War like. And I did play some of the old God of Wars, but I never beat any of them. I've only beaten one God of War, and it's the PS4 God of War, the one that came before Ragnarok that just came out recently. That's the only one I've beaten, and I've actually replayed it recently. I didn't beat it again because I'm lazy, but yeah, it's very God of War. Like, in it's almost like it almost feels identical to God of War. That's how weird it is. But I remember the bosses are really fucking cool, and the environments are really fucking good. Like, cause I don't know, I love like the whole like fighting like lust, greed, envy, like fighting like those layers of hell type theme. I really like that. I don't remember a lot about the boss fight. I remember you fight Lucifer, and I remember the boss fight being really fucking hard. And the ending. Spoiler. I doubt anyone cares. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, which I probably don't because I'm dumb. I could have probably researched this before the video, but I'm a dumbass and I'm lazy. If I remember the ending correctly, I'm pretty sure the girl decides that she doesn't want to go with main character, and she actually leaves with Lucifer, and they just leave. I don't remember if that's how it ended, but that's how I feel like I remember it ending. Is with her just outright being like, "You're a bad man," and then just leaving him. I might be misremembering, because again, I only beat it once, and I have not seen a thing of it since, because the game kept crashing at a certain. The game would always crash when you got to like the fat enemies. I remember that. When every time I got to the fat enemies, the game would crash. So yeah. But from what I remember, I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really cool. And I really enjoyed the bosses and the environment. I do remember there were some like, I believe, QTE moments that like really pissed me off. And I don't remember the final boss, like at all. I just remember it was Lucifer, and I remember the girl like just leaving with Lucifer, and the ending being like, well, what was the fucking point? But yeah, I like this. I like the game from what again, this is like from what I remember because I haven't been in a long time, but I wanted to talk about it because it's just an interesting game. And I talked about Clive Barker's Jericho, which is very similar, sorta, where you're dealing with like the first ever human, the firstborn, and the games remind me a lot of each other in a way. I don't know why. I mean, obviously it's like a very religious thing, so that's probably why. But I think Dante's Inferno is really good, and it even got an animated, I believe, an animation out of it, and they got like comics as well. But yeah, Dante's Inferno was fun. I thought it was good. I thought it was a really good looking game. Had a lot of cool bosses, and I think I just remember, if I'm remembering the ending correctly, then I did not like the ending. So yeah, Dante's Inferno, pretty cool. And I'm not reading the Divine Joke or whatever the hell it was called. I'm not reading a fucking 1300 poem. Too lazy for that. Anyway, yeah, fun game. So yeah, whatever.